So this past week, at the time of this recording, fans celebrated the 37th anniversary of the film Macross, Do You Remember Love, which had actually a couple different releases, but the date that most of us were celebrating was July 7th, 1984, when it had a limited release before its broader release on the 21st later. Does that number mean anything? No.
You mean 37 or
yeah,
37?
37. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not a specific number, but
no.
It's fun to talk about the movie and bring it up.
There is one like obscure connection.
The number 37?
With the number 37 in Macross.
Go for it.
That's the number of the Macross 7 fleet. It's the what do they call it again? The 37th long distance colonization fleet.
That's a stretch.
Wow.
That is a huge stretch.
You can have it. You can have it, Chad.
No, only a mecha geek would know that.
That's a massive stretch. Holy moly.
That's a marketing opportunity.
Yeah.
That's true. They should use it as a marketing opportunity.
They should, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hire Chad to be your spokesperson. But did you guys watch it again?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. I did the streaming on our Discord channel, but nobody watched it. I think there was one guy that I just kind of like put it on a loop, and I watched it one time, and then I played Clash of the Binoids, and I watched that too. I ended up watching it. I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it on, but I ended up sitting down and watching it. So I actually watched it twice. Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Alex, I gotta go.
All right.
Take care of something really quick. Sorry about that.
Well, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah,
Brandon.
sorry. I gotta go. You gotta take care of this thing. All right. Bye.
See you later. Cool. All right. Cool that he's gone. No, just kidding. No, that's cool having him. What about you, Chad? Did you get to watch it again, or? But you're always watching it, right?
Well, I ended up taking because of everybody posting about it and stuff like that. I didn't know the anniversary was coming up. I didn't know this was a thing. But once people started posting on social media, I noticed there was actually several fans who were posting high resolution like Blu-ray shots. Which is usually something only I see like myself or a handful of other people do, because I guess most people don't have access to the actual disc, the Blu-ray disc. So I just decided to go back and take some more screenshots, and then ended up watching a lot of it, if not almost all of it, I think. And it is cool as always. It's just amazing. Like I said, we've gushed about it before, and I will continue to gush over that movie. And like I said, anytime I feel bad watching the original series and getting frustrated by some of the worst animated episodes, I can always go back and watch Do You Remember Love, and it makes me happy again. So I enjoyed watching it yet again.
Celia?
Yeah, I also watched it. I broke out my Blu-ray and watched it after work. I also posted a couple pictures of my Min-May cosplay that I did for a Macross Pass the Brush video last year. So I shared those, and that was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was so good. Somebody posted it again in our group, and it was awesome. Yeah,
that was very flattering until Alex was like, "I don't know her."
never heard of her. Who is that?
Never heard of this person.
Oh, I should have downloaded the pictures and show it here. But yeah, that was
a good friend, Alex.
That's a really good cosplay. Let me see if I can find the pictures. But oh man, we so need an English sub of that. I mean, Clash of the Binoids is great and everything, but we're so like overdue for a.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I've gotten by off of the subtitle that a fan group did like years ago, and then you can just add it to like a ripped copy if you take the Blu-ray and rip it to your computer.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been getting by. But the subs are a little bit rough in some places. They're mostly pretty good. They're way better than like the old like bootleg stuff and all the stuff that we had to put up with for decades. They're far superior, but they're still a little like rough.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we got like an official one with like with care and effort put into it.
Yeah, and have like official spellings and the names that maybe that are not like out there, completely. I don't know what we're missing, but I mean, but sure, but by now we have all the names down and everything, but it'd be nice to have it on the subs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So re-release it, man. We'll all buy it again, of course, and make it a deluxe copy. Give us, I bought the box set, the deluxe box set with I think had a game with it, and like
the hybrid pack.
The hybrid, yeah. I have that, and then I have the newer version, which was like $35 when it came out, and that one is actually like the better version as far as the picture, and it didn't have the blurred frames in it. It's just so much better. So I don't know.
I mean, if it gets licensed, it gets a physical release outside of Japan, I will buy it again. Like, I already have the most recent one. The one that has the art by Mikimoto on the front with that blue illustration of the cast. I have that one.
Yeah, and that has all the original like animation, including the grotesque violence and stuff like that. That one of the other versions cut out.
Yeah.
The previous Blu-ray release edited out that sort of stuff, and I was like, and a lot of fans were upset, including myself. I was just like, don't mess with Do You Remember Love?
Yeah.
Keep it complete and as it were, as it was, sorry, I should say, and go with that. But yeah, I haven't seen the version that Alex is talking about. That sounds like kind of cool that they fixed some of the more blurry versions and stuff.
Oh, the blurred out versions? Oh, you mean like the box set itself? It's cooler. Is that what you mean?
Oh no, I guess maybe I'm misunderstanding what you said.
Well, which version do you have? I mean, I think you bought the second one, right? With
yes,
everything.
The second Blu-ray.
That's the better one as far as the picture. It's a lot clearer. The original the original Blu-ray release, it had a lot of grain on it, and I didn't enjoy that at all. If they re-release it, I think they should just clean it up like completely. Just get rid of the grain. I mean, yeah, sure, it was released that way originally, but it's animation. Like, clean it up.
Yeah, the animation was like shot on film out of necessity. It wasn't shot on film because they liked the look of film. Nobody liked shooting like SDF Macross on, what was it? Was it 8mm or 35mm or something like that film? Nobody liked shooting that on that old film. It was terrible stock that looked rough. And and as a result, even the Blu-ray release of SDF Macross looks rough nowadays. That wasn't an advantage. That was a disadvantage. It always was. Exactly. So animation looks better when it's crisp and clear. But anyway, maybe that's heresy to some people. Maybe they're all looking at us saying, "How dare you speak ill of film like that?"
But they have their versions. Those people that would say, "Oh, that's that's rude. How dare you?" But it's like, but you got your version released already.
Well, with live action, it's a very different thing. Like, there's some people who they love like the look and feel of live action film, and I can understand that.
I like the grain more. Like,
I like grain in live action. Grain. Yeah, but in anime, it's different. Yeah.
When there's like when you release a movie that's like too cleaned up, like say from the 70s, it looks like a sitcom.
Yeah.
But like if you seen like the Disney Blu-rays when they first started coming out, like Cinderella and stuff like that, I was like, whoa, it looks like they reanimated this thing. It looks so new, but it's just because it was cleaned up and all the lines are sharp and all the all the colors are just flat. And it just looks so good.
Can you imagine what kind of undertaking that would be for Do You Remember Love, though? Because of the amount of detail and stuff that's in that movie.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you could release it in 4K or 8K. Because if it's, if you just clean it up that much.
Right. That would be crazy. It'd be beautiful. Yeah. But also, I'm like, oh, that would take so much time. So much time.
Yeah, and who knows? Yeah, who knows if, how many people would buy it. I mean, that's the one thing that would probably make money as far as a Blu-ray release. But is there enough Macross fans that would, invest into that?
It would also depend on the price
Right.
point as well, I think, because like a lot of media, a lot of media, including Macross media, is becoming prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unaffordable at this point. It's too much money.
I bought a Kickstarter of Maddox, I forget, it's an anime from the 80s, and I was just curious because it's a Blu-ray release, you know, of an 80s show movie, and I was just curious to see how it's going to look, you know. So I'm looking forward to getting it. It was successful, and if it's going to be like a super sharp release, you know, then yeah, I kind of bought it to think like, can they do this with Do You Remember Love? You know, I mean, they probably can't do a Kickstarter like that as far as licensing, but as far as upgrading the look, is it possible for them to kind of do it? So that's why I got into it. And also, I love that anime. So looking forward to getting that.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Kickstarters through Animego, like just with the sets that they're releasing. I haven't watched mine yet because I got the Megazone 2-3 through their Kickstarter. Yeah, I got the box set, the Omega box set. And so I haven't heard any complaints from prior releases about the video quality, but I also haven't watched mine yet to see what it looks like. But from what it sounds like, they do a good job with their upscales and with their Blu-ray releases. So
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, and to think they, you know, they might have all of Do You Remember Love archives. Like, yeah, who knows? Maybe they could still do it. If not, we have our versions. That's fine. I'll watch that over and over again. You know,
yeah,
it looks good.
It looks great. We're lucky that we have like good Blu-ray releases of everything Macross. To be honest,
yeah,
we're very lucky. There's a lot of anime that just doesn't get this sort of treatment. We're lucky that Macross is popular enough that people will buy it and support it and everything like that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and like obviously it's coming from the staff at Harmony Gold, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. But they did say in one of their live streams right after the agreement was announced in April that they were working on Do You Remember Love, at least trying to work on it. But there are a lot of moving targets that make it difficult to license. So I wouldn't say it's impossible. It just might take longer than anything else. Because there are so many moving parts to this movie that would make it harder to just be like, cool, we're going to slap it on Blu-ray and, you know, whoever has the rights is going to do home video distribution. So it sounds like it's a lot more complex than we may have initially thought. But I wouldn't say it's impossible for it to have a global release. It'll just maybe take a few years.
We'll just pray for it then, for that version to come out. But yeah, just happy to.
I want a version with subtitles on it, so I don't have to watch a pirated copy anymore.
Here's a picture of Celia in her DYRL.
Oh yes, that's me. So sparkly.
Awesome. Bravo.
With my Macross collection in the background there, as you can see. My Cheryl poster, a little bit of my toys. That Cheryl poster is signed by Maine, by the way. It is one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Nice. Lucky you.
I know. I got it as a gift, too. I have never actually met Maine, but someone went and got that poster signed for me. So, yay.
I've seen Maine twice. Never met her, but just to be able to see the concert, she's awesome.
She's amazing. I saw her at Walk Your Third Live.
Oh, that's right.
And whoa, like
that reveal was so
tears.
Awesome.
Like even though I knew she was gonna be there, because like there had been a lot of speculation that she was gonna be the first guest on day one, and that Megumi Nakajima would be day 2. Even though I knew there was a 90% chance it was gonna be her, as when I heard her voice and she came out, it was tears. Oh my god. My soul left my body. It was amazing.
Oh man. Any more thoughts on Do You Remember Love?
Watch it if you haven't seen it.
Whoa. If you haven't seen it, oh my God, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. And I'm probably going to get a lot of criticism for this. You can watch it without watching the TV series, because that's what I did. I watched Do You Remember Love before I watched SDF. The events kind of don't, like, they're, because it relies on you having seen the TV series, some of the events might get a little confusing because it does jump from one thing to another, but you still can enjoy it without watching SDF first.
You can definitely enjoy it.
So if you don't have time to watch SDF before Do You Remember Love, it's okay to just watch Do You Remember Love.
Somebody needs to make a 9-minute video of, to catch you up to Do You Remember Love.
I think that this, like, as a story, the film is fine. It makes total sense, even if you've never seen any Macross
It makes
before.
sense.
The one thing that it does have going against it is that at the beginning of the movie, you are just thrown in with no context for what's happening whatsoever. And if you've never seen the series, you have no idea who these two green aliens are talking about, like, Earth shit or anything like that. You don't know what the Macross is, why you're following this ship in space, and you're not really sure why it's suddenly going into a concert with a girl. So that stuff is very disorienting, but you'll pick up more of the reasons of, like, what this is, where they are, what the ship is, who this girl's singing is and stuff, if you watch the rest of the film. But the beginning is very disorienting and does nothing to orient you or introduce you in any way. I'd say that's the biggest hurdle.
Yeah. Like the Max and Amelia fight is awesome, but there's context missing that would make it a lot better if you knew more about their characters. So, yeah. I mean, definitely watch it, even if you haven't seen the series. But if you want to, like, further enjoyment, then watch the series and then watch it again. And then watch it again. Every year. But, yeah. It's just a great film overall. Highly recommended. It's like a lot of Macross fans, it's like a lot of their favorites. Like, that's one of the main ones to get into Macross for.
Actually, I noticed that on Macross Fan Central, there was that poll with a guy who's new to the group, and he's actually from Japan, he says, and he was curious. He did a poll, I guess, without actually adding a poll.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't know how to do that on Facebook, but he was asking what international fans' favorite Macross stuff is. Because he says it's a lot of Japanese fans say it's different than Japanese fans' favorite Macross. And I think there is some truth to that, but there's also a lot more overlap than people think. I know in traditional Western fandoms, there's a lot of people who complain that, like, oh, everybody just, like, adores Macross Plus and they don't really like the rest of the franchise. And it's like, that's not the case at all. That's just people venting their frustrations, I think. I think that poll, at least the impromptu poll that was on our site, our group, sort of showed that, yeah, there's a lot of people who love SDF, especially Do You Remember Love, and Frontier was a big hit as well.
Right. Well, and also, really just to lend to the longevity of this film is that when they did that big, the Ultimate Macross poll through the NHK, Do You Remember Love was the top voted song overall for the Macross franchise.
Nice.
And it's a song that, like, continues to have new versions of it made within Macross. Like, you had, the one from the movie, but then, like, there's a version of it on Macross the Tribute. Millen sings Lin Minmay, like, I think Frontier Ronka has, like, 3 different versions of that song. Walkure did a version of that song. Like, it is basically a pillar in Macross music at this point. And it's all because of that movie.
If you look through YouTube, it's probably the most translated version of any Macross song. There's so many languages that people put it into, like Chinese, Spanish. I think I saw a Thai one. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good stuff, man.
It's a good movie. Go watch it.
All right, everybody. Go celebrate the 37th, and then, we'll celebrate big on the 40th. But yeah, check it out and don't miss it. All right. Bye.